We are very privileged to have your company tonight on Rwanda Television News. Good evening and many thanks for joining us tonight. This is what is coming up. On Monday, Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente attended the official opening ceremony of the International Horticulture Expo 2023 in Doha, Qatar. A landslide trapped several people, killing 2 and injuring 8 during the renovation works of the Rwanda Genocide Memorial Site in Gihombo sector, Nyamasheke district. A very good evening to you once again and welcome to the news in details. As we kick it off, let us inform you that on Monday, Prime Minister Dr. Edouard Ngirente attended the official opening ceremony of the International Horticulture Expo 2023 in Doha, Qatar. Expo 2023 Doha is set to make history as the first AI International Horticulture exhibition in Qatar, the Middle East and the North Africa. Held under the theme Green Desert, Better Environment, the exhibition aims to promote sustainable innovations and combat desertification. It will inspire visitors to participate in a transformation within 4 main topics, which are modern agriculture, technology and innovation, environmental awareness and sustainability. Expo 2023 Doha is scheduled to commence today, October 2nd, 2023, and will run for an impressive 179 days. And moving ahead, local residents in Nyamagabe district have been expressing concerns over the actions of some among them that have been found to hinder the unity and reconciliation. They are calling for action to mitigate such activities and promote the campaign to promote the importance of unity. We do have the details.
In September, local residents in Mbazi sector were arrested after they destroyed a macadamia farm belonging to a genocide survivor. That farm was providing jobs because the people who planted those macadamias were paid after all. I believe what happened is a form of genocidal ideologies expressing themselves and the negation of the genocide against the Tutsi. This is the reason calls are being made to fight such ideologies among the general populations and local communities by showing why it is important for Rwandans to remain united. The campaigns to promote unity must continue because what we have managed to achieve is far greater than any minor setback. There is still confidence that the law will continue to prevail, with perpetrators duly punished and, if possible, brought before the general assemblies of local communities. But people should not be wrongly accused. We are asking the leadership, judiciary and other institutions to help us attain unity and reconciliation as the good leadership of our country requires. Monday saw the launch of a month-long activities geared towards promoting unity and reconciliation in the southern province, with the ceremony at the provincial level held at the Mbazi sector itself. In all settlements, we have old people with necessary information of who lived on what hill and was killed during the genocide. If we are all to sit down and discuss this issue, the problem would be resolved. But the fact remains that it is shameful for us when bodies are discovered in the hills during activities to form terraces, and the people are even easily identified because of the clothes they were wearing. All people must therefore understand that they have a role to play in protecting our unity and progress, so that nothing threatens to take us back to where we have been. The month-long activities in different parts of the country will include discussions in communities at different levels, with the goal being to promote unity and progress.
To education matters, the National Examination and School Inspection Authority, NESA, says that out of the 30,000 students who appealed to be transferred to other schools, and we do have the details about the resumption of the 2023-2024 academic year with Adam Squizera.
A week ago, Primary and secondary school students started the 2023-2024 academic year. Some of them have already arrived at school, while there are others that haven't yet started. Some of the parents and students we met at the National Examination School Inspection Authority NESA explain some of the major reasons why they haven't started school yet. I was transferred to Nyamasheke district. Thereafter, I was told to ask in Lugando if there is a place. Therefore, they gave me a link to use in filling the requirements of getting transferred to another school. Then I waited for the response, and that's why I came here to know more on this, because I'm delaying to start the school. I have a child who was going to senior 4. Then I took him to the school that he was transferred to, which is Kagama High School. Then they told me that their accommodations are already full, that we have to look for the outside school accommodations. Yet I'm even poor, which is the only fact that led to this delay since I was looking for his school fees. Currently, we even bought all school requirements. The administration of Kagarama Secondary School in Tichuchiri district says that 90% of the students sent in Senior 1 and Senior 4 have already arrived, which is not the same case to Kagugu Catholic School in Gasawa district, which still have a large number of students who haven't yet started in their classes as expected. There is a way that was established by NESA of approving the students in the system, which they even authorize since they get reports that those students they sent have already arrived. Because we always send the figures to NESA, hence to know the number of students whom we accommodated. Then this helps them and us as well to fill the number of students who didn't come. The National Examination and School Inspection Authority NESA says that after announcing the marks of the primary and ordinary leaving exams, more than 30,000 people appealed asking to be transferred to other schools. The Director General of National Examination and School Inspection Authority NESA noted that there is a way this transfer has to be done. When you appeal, there is a message you receive informing that you received his or her appeal, that even the response on that appeal will be sent on that contact. And even now, most of those who appealed have already received the response, since we even hope that by tomorrow, all of them will get it as well. In filling that process, we first assess the reasons accordingly, and we even shift their transfers according to the marks they get. Regarding the attendance in primary and secondary schools in this new academic year in 30 districts of the country, in kindergarten, the attendance is at 75.4%, since in primary schools, it is at 79.81%, while in secondary schools, it is at 75.1%. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
On Monday, a landslide trapped several people, killing 2 and injuring 8 others during the renovation works at the Rwanda Genocide Memorial Site in Gihombo Sector, Nyamasheke District. Engineers say construction works will continue in observance with the nature of this particular land.
The incidents happened during the expansion works of the Rwanda Genocide Memorial Site. After the incidents, construction works were immediately stopped to rescue the trapped. Those who passed away were identified as 57-year-old Jonathan Nahimana and 18-year-old Faniel Bizimana. The injured were immediately rushed to the Mugonero Hospital in Karongi district. It is suspected that the accident might have happened due to too much soil waters that resulted in a landslide. The site engineer, Innocent Twagirayezu, noted that an assessment is being done to better understand the nature of this land. Before resuming construction works, we will do an assessment in order to come up with a better solution to help us prevent accidents like this in the future. The district administration expressed a solidarity with the families of the deceased, pledging to follow up closely the resumption of the construction works. We are coordinating with relevant authorities to make sure that the injured receive the treatment they need, as well as arranging the burial for the deceased. The memorial site is the final resting place of over 47,000 victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, and more bodies from other memorial sites in the area will be brought here after the completion of expansion works. Construction works are expected to be completed in June 2024 at a total cost of 700 million Rwandan francs.
Economic analysts find that Africa should establish a line to build peace and the capacity of its residents to achieve the 2063 agenda. Adam Squizera brings us the details.
Building an independent continent in the economy and politics, building infrastructures that links capitals and business centers in African countries, ceasing wars and conflicts, plus having clean economy based on Africans are some of the major goals of the 2063, known as Africa We Want. However, achieving the 7 goals that consist this 2063 vision still seems to be a tough grind, as noted by Dr. Vincent Biruta, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation in Rwanda.
We need to acknowledge that we are still facing considerable challenges in areas such as poverty reduction, job creation, free movement of people, and ensuring a secure and peaceful Africa.
As Africa pursues its vision to have an equal say in global decision-making by ensuring that no African citizens are left behind in the developmental endeavors, be at the local, government, national, or continental levels. Seth Kwizera, an economic analyst, finds that Africa couldn't achieve its dreams while it is still facing insecurities. Let's say today there are trade agreements between countries, but later you find that all those agreements haven't even got implemented. Those are the issues itself. Then, as long as African leaders are not committed to look for the benefits of their residents, I see no any achievements from these goals. Because what we all need as Africans is to find the unity of Africans, we ourselves, since many countries on this continent are even still facing wars. The Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Dr. Monique Nsanzabaganwa, points out that a lot of efforts in the next phase of the implementation of the 2063 vision should be directed onto continent's economic resilience.
The first 10-year implementation plan has been a period or a moment to attain convergence. And the next 10 years are calling for acceleration. Findings from the first 10-year implementation plan, lessons learned, and the emerging contextual imperatives, the draft second 10-year, basing on that, is highlighting 7 ambitious moonshots that are aligned to each of the 7 aspirations of Agenda 2063. And around these moonshots, we are collectively undertaking to make sure that every nation, by the end of the second 10 years, will be at least for everyone in the middle income category. But of course, some are already there, and you want them to go even higher.
Agenda 2063 was adopted by the 24th session of the African Union Assembly of the Heads of State and Government in Addis Ababa in January 2015, whereas this agenda embodies the aspiration of the African people framed in a collective ambition, thus the Africa We Want in 2063, which is operationalized through 5 10-year implementation plans, with the first plan straddling 2014 to 2023. The second decade of Agenda 2063 implementation is one of acceleration, building on the first that focused on the convergence. Adams Kwizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams. Moving ahead, more than 1,000 children in Kamonyi district were supported by Rotary Club Kigali Virunga organization through giving them school requirements.
Those given a package of school requirements with a value of $40. The parents of these children says that their families had limited resources to afford their school requirements. We are happy that now they got the major school requirements, which will even help them to sleep well. In these activities, Rotary Club Kigali Virunga has cooperated with the Canadian organization named Sleeping Child Around the World.
We represent Sleeping Children Around the World, a Canadian charity that has for 53 years distributed over 1.7 million bed kits, which are mattresses, mosquito nets, school clothing, bedding, and other school supplies, to over 30 countries around the world. And for this, our first trip and distribution to Rwanda, we're partnering with the Rotary Club of Kigali, Virunga, and distributing 5,000 bed kits in the different districts here in Rwanda. And the impact that the bed kits have are better sleep, mosquito nets, protection, and thus better ability to learn at school, and all based on a good night's sleep.
Musi Livingston, the head of the Rotary Club Kigali Virunga, noted that this grant is intended to bring change in the community's well-being.
And on behalf of the entire news production, as well as the technical team, many thanks for being with us on this edition of Rwanda Television News. We wish you a great evening and a fruitful week ahead. Goodbye.